What truly happens when a man falls deeply for a woman who is older than him? There are countless signals, small behaviors, and subtle patterns that give it away. But you want to know the one clue that never lies to you. It is always the way he talks. His words, especially the relaxed ones he says without planning beforehand, are often the most honest reveal of what he is feeling inside. This is especially true when a younger man is attaching himself emotionally to a woman with more years and more life experience. Today, I am going to show you the exact 11 types of phrases a man uses when his heart slowly starts drifting toward hers, sometimes long before he even understands it himself. Because when a man begins to feel something real, something serious, something that shakes him up a little, his walls begin to soften, his emotional guard lowers, and the things that slip out of his mouth show everything. Stay with me until the very end, because these are not the typical romantic lines you expect to hear. They are usually so simple, so casual, and so well disguised that most women ignore them without realizing how meaningful they actually are. But if you listen carefully, these tiny phrases reveal the real truth his actions may not yet be bold enough to show. And here is where it becomes very confusing. Many older women who find themselves getting close to younger men end up feeling unsure or emotionally torn. Why does this happen? It happens because the way men express emotional attachment is completely different from the way women do. And when there is an age difference involved, especially when the woman is the older one, the uncertainty becomes even stronger. You start doubting your own instincts. You wonder if that compliment was real. You wonder if he was being charming or just naturally friendly, or if you are reading way too much into his tone. You replay the conversations over and over in your head, trying to figure out if he meant something deeper or if you are just imagining it. Scientific studies back up this emotional mismatch. Research published in the Journal of Social Psychology shows that women tend to express love, affection, and vulnerability more directly through emotional language and warm behavior. Men, on the other hand, often express their feelings in indirect, subtle, and half-conscious ways, especially when they are not sure if their emotions will be accepted or taken seriously. Most men do not just come out and say what they feel. Instead, they speak through patterns, tone shifts, small comments, and unintentional hints. And often they do not even notice they are doing it themselves. So it is absolutely no surprise that older women in these connections often feel like they are walking completely in the dark. You might tell yourself that he probably says that to everyone, or that he is just being polite, or worse, that you are just imagining things. But I am going to tell you something very important right now. When a man is genuinely falling for an older woman, it is nearly impossible for him to hide it completely. His subconscious mind betrays him. His words betray him. The way he talks around you becomes much more than ordinary conversation. It becomes a quiet doorway into how he truly feels. That is why recognizing these verbal clues matters so much. Once you know what to listen for, you stop doubting yourself. You stop wasting your energy overthinking every single detail. You stop wondering whether he is truly interested or just enjoying the attention. Understanding these signs can be the exact difference between walking away from a man who was falling deeply for you or staying in a connection that was never going to grow. There is another important detail to consider. In a study from 2019 by Elite Singles, over 60% of men admitted that at some point in their life they developed strong emotional feelings for a woman older than them. Think about that for a moment. These men did not just have a simple passing crush. They felt real, deep attachment. But here is the major twist. Most of them never said a single thing about it. They never confessed it to her. They kept it hidden away completely. When they were asked why, they all gave very similar reasons. They talked about the fear of being dismissed. They talked about the fear of rejection and the fear that the older woman would not take them seriously. Social expectations, personal insecurity, and internal doubt all played a massive role. So instead of saying how they felt directly, they expressed it in tiny ways through through little comments, quiet moments, and unguarded words that slipped out when they relaxed and let their guard fall down. And that is exactly where you come in. If you know how to recognize these moments, if you can hear the phrases he says when he is emotionally open, you will know exactly what is going on inside him. There will be no guessing, no assumptions, just pure clarity. Men do hide their emotions, yes, but their words eventually leak the truth through the cracks. Now let us look at what some of these phrases sound like when a younger man is falling for an older woman. These are not the dramatic lines like, "I love you" or "I cannot stop thinking about you." No, these are far more subtle and more honest because they show up when he is not even trying to impress you. They show up when he is just being himself. One of the biggest phrases is when he says, "I feel safe with you." Men do not use the word safe loosely at all. For a man to say this, especially to a woman, it carries an incredibly deep meaning. It means he is not afraid of being judged around you. He does not feel any pressure to act tough or pretend he is something he is not. You are not just someone he likes. You are someone who calms him down, someone who truly sees him, and someone who accepts him exactly as he is. And that is incredibly rare in this world. In a world where men are constantly told to toughen up, be strong, never show weakness, and never reveal emotions. Feeling emotionally safe is a complete shock to the system. If he says being with you feels peaceful, grounding, or calming, that is his nervous system responding directly to you. That is his inner world settling down in a way it rarely ever does. And while he may not say, "I am falling for you," this is exactly what he means in the way men communicate. He trusts you completely. He feels something sacred in your presence, in your confidence, and in your maturity. And in that emotional comfort, love begins to grow very quietly. Other phrases follow naturally after that. He may say, "You understand me so well." Or he might say, "I feel like I can talk to you about absolutely anything." He may say, "I do not have to pretend to be someone else around you." Or he might say, "You are completely different from anyone I have ever met in my life." He might tell you, "Talking to you always makes me feel so much better." Or he might say, "I really wish everyone had your exact way of thinking." These are not just empty compliments. These are actual confessions hidden inside casual lines, emotional truths wrapped up in everyday words. They appear when he is relaxed, when he is comfortable, and when he is not trying too hard to impress you. And those are the exact moments that reveal everything. Because when a man speaks without effort, when his guard is fully down, that is when he truly shows his heart. Here is something else many women do not realize. When a younger man starts forming a real emotional connection with an older woman, he is often very surprised by his own feelings. He may not expect it at first. He may tell himself it is just simple attraction or just fun. But then something changes inside him. He catches himself thinking about you when he is completely alone. He misses the sound of your voice. He wants your advice, your opinion, and your presence in his life. Your laugh stays in his mind much longer than he expected it to, and slowly the light spark he felt turns into something much heavier, something warm, something that sits right in the middle of his chest. It becomes a quiet longing, a soft attachment, and he does not know how to describe it until the words slip out accidentally. He may say, "I have never told anyone that before." Or he might say, "I do not even know why I am telling you all this." Those comments show that he is opening emotional doors he usually keeps locked away from the world. He may share stories from his childhood, wounds he has never talked about with others, or dreams he has never spoken out loud to anyone else. That does not happen by chance. It happens because your presence feels completely safe to him. Your maturity gives him space to breathe. Your energy invites the truth. Your calmness does not judge or rush him. And men never forget that kind of feeling. It creates a deep bond that stays with them for a very long time. So the next time he says something that feels deeper than it sounds, listen closely to him. When his tone softens, when he shares something vulnerable, and when his compliments are about who you are as a person, not just how you look on the outside, those are the moments where his real feelings speak. You do not need him to confess his love like a movie script. You just need to hear him when he speaks without thinking, because that is exactly when the true thoughts come out. When a younger man is captivated by an older woman, his entire vocabulary shifts in subtle ways. He starts using language that bridges the age gap, not by highlighting it, but by showing how much he respects your wisdom and perspective. You might hear him ask for your thoughts on major life decisions, or he might phrase things in a way that shows he values your guidance above anyone else's. He will say things like, "Well, what do you think I should do about this?" Or, "I really value your perspective on things." This shows that he sees you as an anchor, someone who has navigated the waters he is currently swimming in. It is a sign of deep respect mixed with emotional dependency, which is a powerful foundation for love. He is not looking for a mother figure. He is looking for an equal who possesses a level of groundedness that he finds incredibly attractive and rare. Furthermore, he will start incorporating you into his future timeline without even realizing it. He might drop casual phrases like, "We should try that place sometime next year," or "I can see us doing that down the road." These time-oriented phrases are a massive indicator of his subconscious desires. A young man who is just looking for a temporary connection speaks only of the present or the immediate future. He talks about this weekend or next week. But when he starts using words that stretch months or even years into the distance, his mind is already building a space for you in his life long term. He is mentally playing out a future where you are still by his side, and those words slip out because his brain has already accepted that reality. You should also pay close attention to how he reacts when other people talk about the age difference, or how he addresses it himself. If he says things like, "Age is just a number anyway," or "I don't even notice the difference between us," he is actively breaking down the social barriers that might otherwise keep you apart. He is reassuring you, and perhaps reassuring himself, that the connection you share transcends any societal expectations or birth dates. He is letting you know that what he feels for you is based on the substance of your character, your mind, and your soul, rather than any external labels. It is his way of saying that he is fully invested in you as a person, and he wants you to feel secure in that fact. Ultimately, the transformation in his speech is about a shift from superficial interaction to deep emotional intimacy. He will stop talking about surface-level topics and start steering conversations toward deeper, more meaningful subjects. He will want to know about your past, your fears, your triumphs, and your views on the world. He will say things like, "Tell me more about how you became who you are today," or "I love the way your mind works." These phrases show a profound curiosity that goes far beyond simple physical attraction. He is fascinated by the depth of your life experience and wants to weave his own story into yours. When a younger man speaks to you with that level of intent, reverence, and emotional honesty, he is not just enjoying your company. He is falling deeply, completely, and undeniably in love with you. And when a younger man starts to fall for an older woman, he might not say it out loud in a loud voice, but if you listen very carefully, you will hear it in the quiet whispers, in the accidental words, and in the gentle phrases he did not actually mean to reveal. Older women, according to studies and research discussed in psychology today, naturally offer a true sense of emotional security that a lot of younger partners struggle to provide on their own. Their long life experience, their emotional maturity, and their steady, stable presence create a wonderful kind of comfort that men find deeply grounding and peaceful. If he says something that hints at this exact feeling, even if he quickly laughs it off as a joke, it is rarely ever a joke. It usually means his inner heart is already leaning toward you in special ways he has not fully admitted to his own mind just yet. So when a man looks at you and says, "You understand me like no one else does," it is never just sweet flattery or a simple compliment. It is a true acknowledgement of something real. It means you have successfully actually shifted from a basic surface connection into something much deeper, something truly emotional. It means you see him in a specific way he is not used to being seen by others in his life. And that kind of statement carries a lot of weight, far beyond the actual words themselves. It reveals that you are no longer just a small part of his everyday life. You have actually become a steady, reliable, emotional anchor for him. And here is exactly why that matters so very much to him. Emotional closeness lasts far longer than simple physical attraction ever can. Physical chemistry might initially ignite a spark of interest, but a deep emotional connection is what truly keeps the relationship alive and burning. When he says those words, "You get me," it means you have become like a clear mirror reflecting his inner world without any judgment at all. That is incredibly rare and very powerful. Then there is that other common line, "I cannot imagine my life without you." It may sound highly poetic or dramatic, but you must pay very close attention to the word "now" if he adds it. That one single word carries an enormous amount of meaning. It shows a complete transformation in his feelings. Your presence has subtly and quietly become a part of his everyday life. Softly, without being loud or obvious, you are no longer just an option or an afterthought to him. You are fully woven into his daily rhythm and routine, whether it is over morning coffee, during late-night chats, or simply the quiet comfort of knowing you are there. You have become a part of his internal world. Relationship expert Dr. Jen Mann explains that when someone begins including another person in their future plans, it shows a very deep emotional bond. So when a man says this, it is much more than simple romance. It is an honest acknowledgement. He is mentally and emotionally placing you directly into his vision of what is to come tomorrow, even if he does not fully realize he is doing it at the time. Another major sign is when he says, "You make me want to be a better person. Please do not ignore this." Men rarely ever feel motivated to change their ways through outside pressure, but they do evolve and grow when they feel emotionally safe, deeply respected, and truly admired. Older women often carry this exact kind of positive energy with them. They challenge a man without criticizing him, they support him without trying to control him, and they inspire him without needing any rigid authority over him. A study from the University of Wisconsin found that men in relationships with older women actually reported a much higher motivation for personal growth than those who were dating younger women. When he says this to you, he is acknowledging not only your physical presence, but also the beautiful way he is becoming a better version of himself simply because of you. Then there is the statement, "I told my mum all about you." At first, it may sound totally casual, but it is actually far from it. Men do not casually talk about just anyone to their close family members. If he mentions your name to his mother or his siblings, it means you truly matter to him. You have crossed over from the private side of his life into the public side of his life. You have become someone he sincerely wants his inner circle to know about and eventually accept fully. This does not always mean a formal, serious introduction is going to happen right away, but it does signal huge significance. A large Match.com survey found that over 76% of men felt a much stronger emotional bond with women they had introduced to their families. His mention of you is highly symbolic. It shows he is integrating you into the very structure of his emotional life. Next comes that very vulnerable phrase, "You are the only person I can truly talk to about this." When a man shares his deepest fears, his past failures, or his hidden doubts with you, he is entrusting you with something completely sacred, which is his emotional truth. This is never done lightly by any man. Men are often taught from a young age to keep their emotions in check and to manage all of their problems internally. So when he opens up to you like this, it is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of pure trust. In that exact moment, you are not just someone he dates for fun. You are his true emotional refuge and safe haven. This openness shows a clear emotional exclusivity, creating a connection that is much stronger than physical attraction alone. It means you are definitely not just an option to him. You are the specific person he turns to when the outside world becomes too heavy to bear. Another important statement to notice is, I do not care what other people think. If he says this about your relationship, especially when there is a noticeable age difference or an unusual dynamic, it is highly revealing. It means he values your connection way more than social expectations or rules. Men often grow up being very concerned about outward appearances and fitting into the crowd. But when he prioritizes your bond over public opinion, it shows great depth and real courage. An eHarmony report found that couples with noticeable age differences who were emotionally connected were much more resilient to outside judgment from others. So when he dismisses criticism or whispers that it does not matter at all, he is really saying that you are completely worth it. Not just in private, but out in public too. One of the most revealing things a man can ever say to you is, I have never felt this way before in my life. It may sound like a cliché line straight from a romantic movie, but if it is said with true sincerity, it reveals your immense impact on him. Your presence has stirred up deep feelings in him that he never expected to feel, emotions that challenge his old, comfortable patterns of living. Often, older women have a very calm, magnetic presence that feels incredibly grounding, intimate, and deeply feminine. These are rare qualities in a world that is so full of pretense and fake attitudes. When he says this, it means you have successfully reached a part of his heart he honestly thought was closed forever. These statements may seem casual or even a bit cliché on the surface, but you must listen carefully to them. Men often express their deepest feelings very subtly, showing much more than they actually speak out loud. When they do choose to speak directly from the heart, their words are highly meaningful. If he says these things to you, even with a bit of humor or in broken fragments, it shows something much deeper is happening inside him. You are not just someone he enjoys spending time with, you are actively becoming his emotional anchor. That specific type of bond is not easily broken by anyone. He may not always express himself perfectly clearly or fully understand the deep depth of his own feelings, but when he feels emotionally safe, respected, and truly understood, he opens up in ways that surprise even him. A mature, emotionally intelligent woman often creates the perfect conditions for that exact openness to happen, not by demanding it from him, but simply through her natural energy. She listens to him without any judgment, encourages him without any control, and stays completely grounded in her own self-worth. If he says things like this to you, please do not dismiss them as nothing. They are important clues that he is falling for you, feeling deeply, and connecting on a level that most men reserve for only one special woman in their life. The single one who does not just make his heart race fast, but makes his very soul feel recognized. Yes, it is a classic line, but when it is sincere, it carries immense weight. Most men are not naturally expressive with their words, especially when they are deeply invested in someone. They choose to show their emotions through their daily actions much more than through their words. So when a man actually says something heartfelt, it is rarely ever casual. He genuinely feels something incredibly profound inside himself. And he is signaling to you that this connection is not just temporary. It is highly meaningful, serious, and grounded in reality. When he says, I really wish we had met much sooner, it is not about your age or about lost youth. It is entirely about time itself. He feels that his past time was incomplete without you there. That statement carries a quiet, beautiful longing, showing that your presence right now feels absolutely essential to his happiness. His heart is fully engaged and firmly anchored to yours. Then there is the phrase, I can truly be myself around you. These are simple words, but they are incredibly profound. He is telling you that he does not have to perform or put on a show for you. He does not feel judged by you at all, and he can finally drop the heavy mask of strength that he wears for the rest of the world. For men who are taught from childhood to suppress their vulnerability, vulnerability, this level of comfort is incredibly rare. If he says this to you, it shows immense trust and close emotional closeness. He feels completely accepted and understood, and that is absolutely priceless to him. Clinical psychologist Dr. John Gottman's research shows that emotional authenticity, which means being able to show your true, raw self to another person, directly predicts long-term relationship satisfaction. So when he feels totally free to be his true self around you, it is absolute relational gold. Finally, we have the most powerful phrase of all, "You have completely changed me." This goes way beyond superficial habits, hobbies, or personal style. It reflects a true, deep transformation of character. When a man tells a woman, especially one who is firmly grounded in wisdom and life experience, that she has changed him, it is about true growth on a deep emotional level. He is not just noticing the lovely way she looks or acts around him. He is recognizing exactly how her beautiful presence has altered the way he feels, the way he thinks, and the way he experiences the entire world around him every single day. He sees that his thoughts have shifted since you entered his world, and he values the new perspective you bring to his life. A man who feels this way will look at you with eyes that show true devotion, and his actions will mirror the words he whispers when you are alone together. He will make space for you in his thoughts, ask for your advice on important matters, and show you a level of respect that cannot be faked. This is how a younger man loves an older woman, quietly but with an intensity that fills the room. It is a bond built on the solid ground of mutual respect and deep understanding, a connection that stands strong against the opinions of the world. When you hear these phrases, know that you have touched his heart in a place that no one else has ever reached before.